us very soon. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Nana Otuosribo II, our chairman for this function. Please give him another round of applause. Thank you. At this point, I'd like to invite all of us to settle down in our seats to watch a short documentary which unveils Ghana's justice administration system and explains the motivation for the leading justice vision. This documentary is named Justice Behind the Gavel, Unveiling Ghana's Judicial System. Thank you.
Nation with a legal system as diverse as its people, rooted in a rich history of customary practices and colonial legacies, the country's judiciary has journeyed through periods of change and evolution. From the days of colonial rule to the tumult to independence, Ghana's legal landscape has mirrored the nation's struggle for independence and justice. Today, Ghana's judiciary stands as a guardian of rights enshrined in a constitution that guarantees equality and justice for all. In fact, it is the bastion of our democracy. The judiciary interprets, applies, and safeguards the laws of the land. It works to preserve and advance the cause of the Constitution. The Ghanaian court system is well structured, with each tier playing a crucial role in upholding the rule of law. The courts have been placed in the category of lower and the higher courts, otherwise known as the inferior and superior courts. A distinguished legal mind and former president of the Ghana Bar Association, Anthony Forson, gives us insight into the structure of the courts.
The courts in Ghana are essentially split into two. We have the higher courts and the lower courts. The higher courts are made up of the Supreme Court in descending order, Court of Appeal, the High Court. And the lower courts are the Circuit Court, the District Court, District or Magistrate Court. In the Constitution, actually, they are regional tribunals that are supposed to be part of the higher courts. But actually in operation, they are not in operation now, but they are there in the Constitution. But basically, where to go to, it depends on the jurisdiction of the court. The jurisdiction of the court is stipulated in statute. So, for example, to use the highest court, the Supreme Court, and anytime I was teaching, I said it's OSA RP, Original Supervisory Appellate Review and production of official documents. So depending on what you want to do, your lawyer will determine where to go. If it's an appeal from the High Court, of course, you go to the Court of Appeal, then you go to the Supreme Court. There's also the delineation in terms of subject matter. For example, if it is a matter which affects chieftaincy, you cannot go to the High Court. You go to the Judicial Committee of the National House of Chiefs, and on appeal, you go to the Supreme Court. So it depends on the subject matter. The subject matter determines where you go to for redress. With the lower courts, in terms of geographical delineation, depends on where the issue has happened and the quantum. If it is a matter of land, if it is a matter of a contract, how much is involved, that your lawyer will make a determination as to where the case has to go to. In fact, if you look at the rule of law, I mean, the bedrock is the court system.
To recognize that legal systems do not emerge out of nothing. They possess a rich history reflecting ideas and institutions that have evolved over time, shaped by cultural and political forces. How unique is Ghana's legal system?
Legal system generally then is understood to mean a set of legal rules, principles, procedures, methods by which humans and all persons, and I will include artificial persons and even animals, are organized in terms of how their affairs are organized and managed to be consistent with the laws that have been set up by the generality of the people to manage their affairs in diverse ways. A very distinctive feature of fundamentally is what the Constitution has referred to as what the laws of Ghana are, because we are talking about legal. Under the Constitution, Article 11, in an interesting way, states that there is what we call the laws of Ghana. And under the laws of Ghana, we have the common law of Ghana. And under the common law of Ghana, we have three branches. Has elevated itself to the supreme law of Ghana. So the drafters of the Constitution said that this Constitution, when it comes into effect, will become the supreme law, the fundamental law, to which any other law that is significantly inconsistent with will give way to the Constitution. Then if you take Article 11, some argue that it is in the order of precedence in terms of the highest being the Constitution, then below it being statute passed by this Parliament, and then we have what we call the existing laws. Laws passed by previous Parliament, even the PNDC and the other military juntas, the administrations that pass the laws that are still consistent with the Constitution. It will follow. Then we have the common law, which I've explained. You have, so in that order of maybe ascendancy, or if you are descending from the top, you will clearly see that is the Constitution, laws passed by this Parliament, the existing law, the common law.
Parties. It is the appellate process. The appellate process in Ghana is a crucial mechanism for correcting errors and ensuring that justice is served with utmost fairness. Does an appeal amount to a retrial of a case?
His Lordship, Justice Akabwafo, an esteemed justice of the Court of Appeal, guides us through the appeal process.
Well, first of all, let me say that appeal is creature of statute, so no one has inherent right to appeal. If the law says you cannot appeal, you cannot appeal. But once the law set out the basis for an appeal, for matters coming from the district courts, coming from the circuit courts, you may appeal at the high court. But for the circuit court, actually, civil appeals come to the Court of Appeal. The reason being that both the circuit court and the high
use of a neutral third party to assist the parties. Use of a neutral third party to assist the parties to a dispute. ADR, which has been operational since 2005. We have trained mediators attached to courts which are connected to ADR, and the mediators assist disputants in resolving their disputes. As a way of dealing with the backlog of cases, the Judicial Service has been offering us court-connected mediation since the year 2005 to help ease the congestion in the courtrooms. This is the quickest way of resolving disputes compared to litigation. The process is very private, and when you have people like corporate entities and sometimes family disputes where privacy is key, then ADR is the way to go. There's also confidentiality, full confidentiality, apart from the parties to the disputes. And if they will allow their lawyers in, if they are represented, nobody else gets into the mediation room. So it's the mediator and the parties, and so the matter does not get into the public realm, and any agreement that is arrived at during the mediation or at the end of the mediation session is also confidential.
Explore how the court interfaces with citizens or other court users. The court system engages a diverse array of players in its quest to do justice, from surveyors and auctioneers to police prosecutors and investigators. Each plays a crucial role in upholding justice and ensuring the rule of law. What do these players make of their daily interaction with the court? Let's first begin with the police, who engage in prosecutions and other activities.
The role of the prosecutor in the justice system is technically you being the state or the lawyer for the state, as our system requires that is the republic versus somebody. So let's say 30-something million people as against one person. And this is the function of the Attorney General. So we, the police, comes in more or less like delegated function. So you come and help the AGs to resolve this particular matter. So what we do basically is to prosecute. So once a charge sheet is laid before the court, the prosecutors comes in to do the function for and on behalf of the state, and for that matter on behalf of the Attorney General. So basically we do prosecution criminal matters, not civil matters. So we will require a lot of resources, a lot of training, a lot of expertise. Because if the investigators are working and the investigators are not experts in certain field, when it comes to homicide, you expect certain expertise to investigate that particular conduct or act of homicide. When it comes to cyber related, you don't just pick an investigator and put the person as cyber or conduct cyber investigation. You require certain expertise in cyber or forensic related area to be able to. So we will say that resources, human resources. Then we'll talk about general resources when in terms of maybe computers and other things required to conduct thorough investigation in a particular area, and also training, because I see training to be all. Without training, you may not be able to deliver as an investigator. Without training, you may not be able to deliver as a prosecutor. Without requisite training, you may not be able to deliver as a judge. Because even if you're a judge and you are sitting in a particular matter, you need certain expertise apart from the law.
Also, there are surveyors who are engaged for their expert views in certain cases.
The processes are very slow, and issues that we think in the professional and technical setting that should be handled quickly, because it goes to court, everything comes to a halt. So it's very slow, and at times encountering the justice system, the perspective that you have as a professional, technical professional, is normally not appreciated. Unless probably you go there and you try to make an impression. Invariably, especially during cross-examinations, the questions are tailor-made, yes, no, but the industry, as a technical person, any response you give to either yes or no has an implication. And once you say that, if you are not careful and you don't know where you are treading, you saying yes or no will probably change the course of the whole case.
For most of my colleagues and the professionals, if a case is related to court, they are not too keen in taking up the case, because the problem will not be the work itself, but the time you spent running to the court. And believe me, every day is adjourned for so many other reasons, and so it's kind of that's a bad experience most of my colleagues have, and most of the practitioners. So if your case is supposed to go to court, they are reluctant to pick it up and assist you. Institution of Surveillance and the Judicial are now collaborating, I think, at a very high level. Recently, there was a media blast about
probate valuation that in the Tema High Court, and I think the judge was reasonably sure about the valuation. And we have professionals that do valuation, but most of the probate values that come to court are not done by the professional. So the institution took a first step to write to the Chief Justice that we have professionals that can do probate valuation, but invariably the court will not look for these professionals. But anybody comes and a huge property and says 30,000, and for that reason, for letters of administration probate, they pay peanuts. And interestingly, the Chief Justice reacted swiftly, invited the institution of surveyors to assist the court, and out of that meeting, I think about 5 or more committees, joint committees have been set up to look at other areas in terms of, even documents that emanate from professional surveyors that come to court. Some, they are not sure the sources, so we are looking at them.
Are the auctioneers, who also play some role in the workings of the judicial system.
So the functions of an auctioneer is important, not only in our jurisdiction, but elsewhere, frankly. And you can look at it this way. If the auctioneer wasn't there to perform his function, you can picture what the courts will begin to look like. It will be swarmed with vehicles and seized items. It will begin to look like a dumping site. But the auctioneer takes this entire burden from the court or the justice system. Warehousing of seized items, chattels, paying ground rent for garages, ensuring adequate security, or these things are kept well. These are cost areas that the auctioneers do bear as private entrepreneurs are tied to the justice system, and it takes a lot of burden from the court. And so their role is very, very important. Under this current dispensation, current CJ, there's been quite a few workshops and interactions between judges and auctioneers and other professionals like the surveyors and what have you, in trying to breach the gap and expediting the delivery system, which I commend highly. I commend all those in charge of doing that highly. However, there's a little disconnect at times between what the actual functions of a profession is and the understanding that some judges, I'm using my words carefully, some judges have. And I believe this constant interaction and workshops will be a good point to breach these gaps.
As we conclude our journey through the rich tapestry of Ghana's legal landscape, one question lingers. How is the judiciary positioning itself to make its workings more accessible, open, and to gain the trust of citizens?
Everyone has a critical role to play, from the court users to the bailiffs, clerks, the registrars, auctioneers, and surveyors. There's a critical role that everybody plays to ensure that justice is served. And it is our call that everyone plays an effective role to ensure that any citizen that walks through the court system, whether from the district court to the high court to the Supreme Court, is duly served in a fair and equitable manner.
We apologize for the slight technical hitch which occurred at the end, but I'm sure most of the documentary was seen, and we appreciated the court system. of Ghana. I think we can give ourselves a round of applause. We will try to fix this, and if we are able to, we'll come back online for the challenges. But at this point, can I call on the police regimental band to refresh us with some music? Thank you very much, Police Regimental Band, for refreshing us whilst we're trying to sort out our technical hitch. We'll continue on smaller screens whilst the big screen gets fixed. We'll continue with the challenges within the justice administration system. Thank you.
It takes so long to resolve disputes. There's a myriad of reasons, and it coalesces into a certain cauldron.
It looks like we may have to continue with the program and come back later to the challenges. So at this point, I would like to invite Sandra Hewson Kelly to minister to us with a song. Please give her a round of applause.
I've seen miracles my mind can comprehend. There is beauty in what I can't understand. But Jesus, it's you. Jesus, it's you. I believe you're the wonder-working God. You're the wonder-working God. All the miracles I've seen, too good to not believe. You're the wonder-working God, and you heal because you love. All the miracles we'll see. You're too good to not believe. Too good to not believe. Too good to not believe. I can't resurrect a man with my just a mention of your name can raise the dead. So all the glory to the